Hello, it's April and welcome to my toy world. Today we have 4 different animal habitats to set up. We'll be setting up a small world for our polar animals, a small world for our insects, a small world for our wild animals, and a small world for our farm animals. We have 4 trays here for our 4 small worlds. Let's go ahead and get started with our polar habitat. Okay, we'll start by adding some bluish slime to the front here for our ocean. A lot of polar habitats are near the ocean. So we have this slime here, a cloud slime from Squishmallow that is blueberry scented. We're going to make a strip of it in the front for our ocean. So we'll put it in the front here and spread it out for our sea. To this part of our diorama, we will add some white pluffle for snow, and we'll spread it around. We'll add an iceberg right here in the corner. And we'll add some white puffs here for snowballs. And now our polar habitat is ready. Next, let's build a habitat for our insects. We'll start by spreading out some kinetic sand. In this corner, we'll add some brown Squishmallow cloud slime. This slime smells like chocolate. We'll use half of it in here, and the other half we'll save for our farm. This is very stretchy slime. So here we have some brown slime that looks just like mud. We'll spread it out right here in the corner. Then we'll add some rocks to our diorama. And more on this side. We'll add some moss for the insects to walk through, and some purple and yellow flowers. We'll add a log for insects to climb on, and a big boulder. Now our insect habitat is done. Now let's build a habitat for our wild animals. We'll spread out some kinetic sand. We'll add a few rocks. We'll add a waterway right here in the corner going through our habitat. We'll add some plants and tall grass. We'll add a boulder here, some rocks, and we'll add a log to this habitat as well. Now our wildlife habitat is ready. And lastly, we'll build a habitat for our farm animals. For our farm habitat, we'll start with some play dirt and we'll spread it around. We'll also add some more of our brown slime here to make a muddy area. Look at this neat brown slime. Perfect for a muddy area for our animals. Next, we'll add a fence and some plants, a little bit of grass right here, another plant right here, and a few rocks over here and near our mud. And now our farm habitat is ready for our farm animals. First, we'll go ahead and open up our polar animals. You can see our tube full of different polar animals. And on the top is a penguin. We'll start with the penguin that came on top of our tube here. This penguin is standing on some ice. We'll put him in the back. It also came with a rock. We'll put this near the edge of the ocean. It came with 2 pieces of coral for our ocean. We'll add one to this side and one to this side. And it came with a small igloo. We'll put the igloo right back here. For the ocean, swimming by our polar habitat here, we have an orca. So here's an orca. We'll put that right into our ocean. This is a beluga whale. We'll add the beluga whale to our ocean. We have a walrus here. Look at his tusks. We'll put the walrus on the rock, right on the edge of the ocean. And we have a seal who is also swimming in the sea, right over here. Next we have a bear, a grizzly bear. Put him in the back here. We have a polar bear. The polar bear will be walking near the iceberg. This is a reindeer. Look at his antlers. Reindeer are also called caribou. We'll put the reindeer right here near the water. We have another animal for our ocean. This is a narwhal. Look at the narwhal's long pointy horn here. A narwhal. We'll put the narwhal right down here in the ocean. This is an Arctic wolf. We'll put the Arctic wolf right back here. And we have an Arctic fox. You can see their fur is white to blend into the snowy area. We'll put the Arctic fox right here in the front. And lastly, we have an Arctic hare. He's standing up and looking around at all the other polar animals. An Arctic hare. He'll be back behind our igloo. And that is our polar habitat here, our polar small world. Next, let's take a look at our insects. Here is our insects tube. It's full of different insects. And on the top is a beautiful butterfly on a branch. Here we'll start with the top of the tube, the butterfly on this branch here. We'll put it right back here in the corner. It also came with an additional rock for our diorama and 2 trees. We'll add the trees to the back here. Let's start with the centipede. It's crawling through our habitat right here on the log. And we have a dragonfly flying in. Look at the dragonfly's eyes and its 4 wings and its long tail. A dragonfly. We'll put him down here near the mud. Here's a grasshopper hopping through our diorama. He'll be over here near the moss. Here we have a scorpion. His tail has a stinger at the end of it. He's got pinchers on his front arms here. A scorpion. Put him near the rocks back here. And we have another butterfly. This one has blue and orange colors. A beautiful butterfly will fly right over here onto the purple flowers. Here we have an ant. Look at the different parts of the ant's body. An ant. Of the ant crawling right down here. And we have a tarantula. Look at the tarantula here. He has 8 legs. We'll put the tarantula right here. This is a praying mantis. When they sit up like this, they hold their arms together like so. And they are very good hunters. A praying mantis. We'll put him back here near this rock. And we have a stag beetle. This interesting beetle here, a stag beetle. We also have a rhino beetle. You can see it looks a little bit different here. A rhino beetle and a stag beetle. We'll put the rhino beetle right here and the stag beetle headed towards the mud, right down here. Then we have a bee. The bee's going to land right here on the yellow flowers. And lastly, we have a ladybug with its red back and black polka dots. A ladybug. We'll put the ladybug right down here in the front. That is our insect habitat. Next, let's take a look at all of our wild animals. Here you can see all of these wild animals in our wild animal tube. Here is our wildlife habitat. Let's go ahead and start with the lid here. This is an impala. We'll put the impala behind this rock here, so it looks like it's looking over the rock. The set also came with 2 trees. We'll put them over here. One here and one here behind the rock. It also came with an additional rock. Put that right here in our rocky area. Our first animal is a black panther. Look at the black panther. A black panther is a wild cat. We'll have him walking over here. We also have a black bear. Black bear will be walking right back here. And we have a panda bear. This adorable panda bear. We'll have the panda bear sitting right over here in this corner. Here's a giraffe with its long neck. Perfect for reaching leaves off of tall plants. We'll put it right here by this tall grass. Here's a camel with its 2 humps. Some camels have 1 hump and some camels have 2. This camel has 2 humps. We'll put that one right over here. And we have a zebra. This one's stripes aren't very noticeable, but zebras are black and white striped. So we'll put our zebra right over here. Here's an elephant with its tusks and its long trunk. He'll be headed down to the stream for a drink of water. And we have a hippo. The hippo, this one's opening his mouth very wide. You can see his teeth. The hippo will be in our river right here. Here we have a gorilla. The gorilla will be hanging out right back here near the plants. This is a rhino. A rhino has a big horn on the top of his nose here. A rhinoceros or rhino. We'll put the rhino back here climbing on these rocks. This is a tiger. A striped tiger. A tiger is also a wild cat. We'll have this tiger coming down for a drink of water as well. And lastly, we have the king of the jungle, the lion, with its large mane around his head here. A lion is also a large wild cat. The lion will be climbing on this log here, looking at all the animals in the habitat. And lastly, we have our farm habitat. Here is our farm tube with a cow on top and all of the farm animals. Here we have our cow from the top of our tube. It looks like it's looking out over the fence. So we'll go ahead and put him inside the fenced-in area, along with 2 other cows, 2 black and white cows. This one has a red bell around its neck. We'll put them down here in the fenced-in area. We also have 2 trees. We'll put one over here and one down here in our mud. And it came with an extra rock. We'll also put the rock in our muddy area. And here is a very happy pig. I think he's going to walk in the muddy area. Look at this cute, happy little pig walking in the muddy area. Here we have a goat. The goat will be near the grass. And so will this sheep. Right down here. Here we have a beautiful gray horse. The horse will also be in the fenced-in area. Here we have a gray donkey. The donkey will be walking right back here. We have a goose. The goose will be walking near the muddy area. And so will the duck. Look at this adorable little duck. This duck will walk over here as well. And we have a chicken looking around for seeds out in the farmyard, along with a rooster, a bright red rooster who wakes everyone up in the morning with his loud cock-a-doodle-doo. And lastly, we have the farmer's dog. This looks like a happy dog walking through the farm. He'll be right here looking after all the animals. And that is our farm habitat. So those are all 4 of our small world dioramas today. Our polar habitat, our insect habitat, our wild animal habitat, and our farm habitat. Let's go ahead now and take a close-up look. those were our 4 Small World dioramas today. Our polar animals, our insects, our wild animals, and our farm animals. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at all 4 of these Small World dioramas today, and I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.